Ladies, gentlemen, and young ladies, the situation is serious for Ukraine. It's very, very serious. It's getting hot. Actually, on Volodymyr Zelensky, who does not no longer knows which breast to turn to. Nothing is going well for him or for Ukraine. So much so that Russia has chained the strikes in recent days. So much that Russia has taken on a dimension immeasurable. Vladimir Zelensky, after having sunk the country, after having had to put his country in a total ruin, Zelensky announces in front of God, before men, and before the story that he is ready to resign from his presidential chair, that he is ready to give up power. Yes, he is ready to resign now. A sentence that we had been expecting from him for a long time, but who never agreed to pronounce this sentence. The idea never occurred to him, even crossed his head. Yes, he just made this statement just ago a few hours, and the world settles down many questions. We ask ourselves a lot of questions. What are the real reasons? Are the motives sincere? Is it possible? Is it? Here, so many questions that arise, but here is the awakening platform of consciences. We will dissect this news. Yes, and you will understand exactly what it is. This is it. Ladies, young ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sharing the video conferencing at most. Please like. Don't forget still no review left comment. Let's go into the depths. The situation is to change. The situation is in the process to be upset. This statement, to which Zelensky has just delivered during an interview he gave to the Axios media, this very rare statement ever made raises many questions. Are we facing a strategy on the part of Zelensky, or he really wants to put an end to the war because if he resigns, it will be fine, quickly put an end to the war? But what are the conditions anyway that he posed before talking about his resignation? Is it that through these conditions we can say that we are faced with a desire to resignation? So let's try to see, what did Zelensky say? Concretely, what does Zelensky have said? Zelensky gave an interview to the media Axios where he made the official announcement. In an interview with Axios, Zelensky said this. He says, the goal is to end the war, not to remain in the presidency. His goal is to finish the war, not to remain in the presidency, which means he is ready to resign. Yes, since many voices were raised, including our own voices here in West Europe, United States of America, many have said that Zelensky does not leave power. He is not ready to leave his chair. And I have it always said here, because as long as he is in power, that is to say, as long as the war continues, he is in power. As long as the war continues, he will be in power, because there is a martial law which is currently in force on the side of, what are we going to call this? On the side of Ukraine. There is martial law which allows it to stay at power. So the continuity of Zelensky's exercise of power depends on the continuity of the war. That's why he always fought to keep the conflict going. There he continues to remain in power. There are the advantages of power which are there, the privileges of power, but also and especially the fact that they put it on fills the pockets and fills the pockets. External aids that come, he fills his pockets. If just now he decides to organize some elections and another president come to the head of Ukraine, this president may seek to do peace with Russia. It is clear. This president will seek to make the peace. So the problem of Ukraine, it's the head. They are the leaders. Even Donald Trump, when he came newly in power, Donald Trump was very clear. He told the truth, Ukraine's problem. These are not, it's not Russia, it's the head. This is the ruling stratum. He said that it's obviously Vladimir Zelensky. He is the obstacle. But against all odds waiting, we saw Donald Trump turns his jacket, and it's the moment he turns his jacket that Zelensky makes the announcement. Is not during the magic interview that he had with Donald Trump that he was told blew this strategy, because stay clear, he doesn't want to leave power. Rest assured. Zelensky, first the European Union said that the conflict will last for almost 2 more years, at least 2 years. Zelensky went to New York on the fringes of the UN General Assembly. He interviewed with Donald Trump. At the end of the interview, Donald Trump announced that all territories Ukrainians occupied by Russia will be transferred back. Yes, with the support of the European, Ukraine can win the victory. So those who project us in a long-lasting conflict, since America is now deciding, The conflict will therefore last a very long time. Zelensky knows it. He knows what he said with Donald Trump. And so we must therefore deceive the people who are fed up with the continuity of his power. It is a statement certainly to make to understand to the people that it is very good faith and that he does not want the conflict lasts. But in reality, it is now that the conflict comes from start. That is, the duration of the conflict has just begun. The conflict no longer has a head or a tail. Regarding the path to the peace, there is more. The only vector of peace that was there, and that was hope of all people, it was Donald Trump. He changed his jacket. He changed of speeches. And finally, Zelensky himself knows that the conflict will continue for a very long time. Long time. So in my humble opinion, according to my personal analyses, it is a way for Zelensky to make the Ukrainian people understand the opposite of what will happen. The longer he lasts in power, because the war is going on for a long time, he will say, anyway, I'm here just for the end of the war. Now, he does not want the war to end. No, and he says one thing and its opposite, and the condition he set for what does resigning mean. And here, the war ends in the event of cessation of the fire. But when we say let's go to the ceasefire, the conditions set by Russia, he refuses. He refuses. So he has a will pain. He doesn't have this desire to see the conflict take end. He says he is there when the war will end. He will resign. We would say that he is the only Ukrainian who can solve this problem, it seems. So it must be said that Zelensky made it clear that in the event to ceasefire, he would ask the Ukrainian parliament to organize elections, even if the constitution prohibits election under martial. So if he is ready to rape the constitution and organize the election under martial law once the war ended, why can't he not do the same thing now? So he has the ability to violate the constitution to organize the elections. In plain terms, the guy is in a very, very strong strategy. It will strike at the very brain of Ukrainians. He will put the Ukrainians in a sauce in a box. He'll catch them like that. And this obviously results from the exchanges that he had to deal with Donald Trump. And so here are, young ladies and gentlemen, the headlines international. We will continue to follow this news. Everything that will resulting from it, we will come back to talk about it here on the TV platform of consciences. Thank you so to everyone. I'll come back to you soon with news. It was the voice of your humble servant, the Samouraï.